Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another How Would I Judge a Drag Race season video. Today, we are going to be going over Drag Race Belgique Season 1. Now, this season was interesting. Some of the judging was, we'll call it peculiar. And I guess you could call my judging in some aspects also slightly peculiar. This season is just peculiar. I feel like that's like the ideal word to describe it for me personally. But like all of the contestants are amazing and they should all be praised for fucking how good they all are. I'm like a Valenciaga stan after this season. I'll get over how much I love her later. Not get over, I'll go over it. But yeah, wasn't even that funny. Okay. Yeah, let's just get started. As always, the rules to remember are the season has to be as long as the season originally was, which is 8 episodes, and the performances and the challenges need to be based on how well someone did or how people would predict they would do. So I'm not just going to put somebody in the bottom two when they won the challenge and vice versa. There are going to be some slight bigger variations with the season, as I do kind of feel the judging is slightly fucky-wucky. But I don't care. So, yeah. And as always, the goal is to act as if I'm the head judge and craft this season however I can imagine to make it as fun and eventful as possible, while also being fair with my judging of the season by combining my own personal tastes and what was shown to us on the show. So, yeah, let's just get right on into it. Okay, so this season, along with a lot of other international seasons, do this where they just do not have a consistent number of tops and bottom placements, or it is different from kind of like the set consistent, which is like 3 tops and 3 bottoms, like the winner, 2 highs, a low, and then a bottom two. This season, pretty much every episode has 2 people in the top and then 3 people in the bottom, which I don't think it's very fair. I feel like it should be even. I feel like it should be, like even on both sides because then there's like lowering people's like track records and like making the judging more negative than it needs to be, which is I don't think is fair. And also I feel like would be unfair if you made it a bit more positive than it needs to be. So I feel like it should be even regardless. But whatever. So episode 1, we have the talent show. Um, Athena Sotilikis won the talent show originally, and I kept that the same. She did an amazing job, and Drag Queen was high originally, and I also kept that the same. I did add Valenciaga to the high placement. I thought her talent show was super, super creative and good. I really thought she was going to be in the top when I watched the episode. I was kind of shocked when she was not. But yeah, Valenciaga is amazing. I just love her aesthetic, her style, her personality, her vibe, and everything. She's just I love seeing what Valenciaga does, and I think she should have been in the top for this episode. I did keep Brittany Von Botox. I guess Botox, but I don't know how technically I should be pronouncing it, but my apologies. She was originally in the bottom two. I kept her there. Amanda Tears was in the bottom two as well. But I actually moved her up to low because even though there were some problems like with the execution of the talent, I thought the concept was pretty interesting. Kind of like her kind of spin on kind of the performance of it. So I thought she deserved a low placement. And originally, Mocha Bonet was low. Instead, I moved Mocha up to safe not because I think Mocha did an amazing job. I would say Mocha would be, did the 4th worst this week. But she definitely did better than the bottom 3 in my opinion. So Mocha's going to play safe. Now Peach was originally safe, is now going to be in the bottom 2. She just walked around with a sword on her head. I don't really feel like that's much of a talent. If I like, I don't think walking with a prop sword balanced on your head is like a talent, especially when it's not like it's obviously not a real sword. They wouldn't allow her to do that most likely. And like it's obviously meant to be it's obviously meant to do tricks like that, so it's more stable than a regular sword anyway. It is not enough for a talent show. It is fully on the level for me of like Art Simone's shoving like a piece of food in her mouth and calling it done. So she's gonna be in the bottom two with Brittany Von Buttocks, and they're going to lip sync to Tout le Même by Stromae, which I love this song. Such a good song. I love Stromae so much. I love his music is amazing. And I do think Peach would win this. I don't think Brittany did a bad job, but I do think Peach would be more inclined to do better in this lip sync. So I think that Peach is going to win and send Brittany home. Alrighty, episode 2, we have this acting challenge where they're trying to like advertise like different things for like the Belgian government, like different foods, I guess. And so this challenge, I thought the judging was really fucked, at least in my opinion, for this challenge. There are two things I obviously did keep the same, those being that Drag Quinn did win the challenge, did an amazing job in it, absolutely deserved the win, and that Amanda Tears was in the bottom and would most likely be going home in the challenge. Originally Susan was low, but I moved her up to a high placement. I thought her character was really funny. I thought it was like stupid funny, and it made the scene better for me. I also really liked Mocha Bonet's performance. To me, she was kind of the one that really kept her group more together, in my opinion. Like that was Mocha is the one who I was paying the most attention to during her group's performance in the challenge. So, yeah, I think she should have been I think she should have been in the top. Um, Safe, we have Athena Sergelikis, Peach, who was obviously moved from the high placement down to a safe. I don't think Peach did bad. I just don't think Peach did amazing. And then we have Valenciaga moved up from the bottom 2 to save. I don't think Valenciaga did a bad job at all. I was confused, frankly, when um, she was, not in the bottom 2. Or no, when she was in the bottom 2, my apologies. Like, that caught me off guard, personally. Two contestants who were not in the bottom before but are now are Mademoiselle Boop and Edna Sorgelson. Edna's character talked way too long and hard for long and hard. No, God, was that like a fucking intrusive thought? Maybe. Very much just went on too long with the speeches of the character and didn't have enough inflection or actual character to her character to make it funny for me. And Mademoiselle was really kind of forgettable for me in the performance of it, and so I put her in the bottom 2 with Amanda Tears. They are going to be lip syncing to Je T'aime by Laura Fabian, and I do think Mademoiselle Boop would probably win this. Also, this is Mademoiselle's first time like in the bottom at all, where it's Amanda's second. So, and I mean, we saw the Mademoiselle ain't a bad lip syncer at all. So I would bet that Mademoiselle Boop would win this, and Amanda Tears would go home. Alrighty, we had episode 3, which was the ball. This was the episode of the season which I originally stopped watching it at because I just thought the critiques were pretty asinine regarding everything in this challenge. We'll start with the topic as always. I do think Susan did the best job in this challenge. I really liked Susan's outfits a lot. Some people were online coming for Susan's second outfit, saying that she shouldn't have won, but I honestly really liked it. I really liked the colors. Yeah, there was some slight fit issues, but I think literally almost everybody had some level of fit issue with their outfits. Whether some bigger and smaller than others. But I don't think that a slight fit issue with her outfit takes away from the fact that her first outfit was the best of the night and her second outfit was probably my second favorite of the category of the night. So I completely think that Susan deserves to win this challenge. Originally, Mademoiselle Boop was high. I don't understand that personally. Neither of her outfits really did it for me. I wanted to see more shape in those outfits that just didn't exist, and there wasn't. I want to see more character and concept of the outfits that just also didn't exist. I put her as low because I genuinely think she did better than I genuinely think she only did better than Valenciaga and Mocha Bonet, and that there was no way that she should have been in the top for this challenge. We then like inexplicably had a bottom 3 for this challenge, which I don't think makes sense at all, especially with the fact that Edna goes home. And when she like should have been in the top, Edna did a great job in this challenge, in my opinion. I don't understand why she was in the bottom for this, but she was. I do agree overall with Valenciaga and Mocha Bonet being in the bottom too, still, because they both had different issues with their outfits. Like overall, that I think makes sense that they're in the bottom two here. But Edna, especially like the fact that she was in the bottom and went home was crazy to me on this challenge. I really didn't understand it. I moved Athena up to high from safe because Athena did a really good job in this challenge. The concepts were pretty good all around. And then we keep Drag Quinn and Peach as safe in this challenge as well. So the bottom two, as already discussed, are Valenciaga and Mocha Bonet, and they are going to be lip syncing to Pump Up the Jam by Technotronic. And we did already see this lip sync before, I mean, with Edna in there as well. And with these two, are just kind of like actually looking at their two performances and like which one do I think did better? I think Valenciaga did better. I think Mocha Bonet went a bit too hard at points where she shouldn't have gone as hard, like doing splits in weird spots that didn't feel like they didn't make sense. I liked Valenciaga's energy throughout it. And I honestly think even like looking at the three-person version of this lip sync with Edna included, I think Mocha would still go home. At least for me, like according to the lip sync, I just think she did the worst in it. But I do love Mocha Bonet, and I love seeing another bearded contestant on Drag Race as a bearded individual myself. But yeah, sadly, I do think Mocha should have gone home here. Episode 4, we have ourselves an acting challenge. And I pretty much kept the critiques from this episode, like as they were originally. Except obviously we do not have Mokabone here. Instead we have Edna Sorgelson. Edna originally did not do a great job. Did not, at least personally for me, did not do a great job in the acting challenge earlier in the season, so I don't think Edna would have done a great job in this acting challenge either. And I think most likely would have ended up in the bottom two here with Susan. Drag Queen did amazing, should have won, was in every scene and killed it in every scene. Absolutely deserved it. Peach was originally high, and I kept it. Peach was my second favorite in this challenge for sure. I loved Peach. I also decided to add Athena to the high placements because I also thought Athena did a great job in this challenge. Was my personal third favorite. We're keeping Mademoiselle Boop as safe, and then Valenciaga is low, and then again our bottom two, this time being Susan and Edna Sorgelson. And they are going to be lip syncing to the song called Million Eyes by an artist who I should have looked up how to pronounce the name originally, but I did not. And I don't feel like fucking it up right now. So, the song is called Million Eyes. And I do think Susan would have won this here. Well, okay, I do think Susan would have won this. I do think it would actually be pretty close, and I think you could very much argue, like either way who would win this. But personally, for me, I would chose Susan. So, yeah, Susan's gonna stay here. And interestingly, at this point, with the way that I've been judging the season, every single lip sync up to this point has had different people in it. Not like overall has had different people from the original season. I mean, has had different individuals in it. Eight people have lip synced at this point throughout the season. To everybody in each episode, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is a new person lip syncing for their life, which is very interesting because we really don't see situations like that happen on Drag Race very often. We have seen it occur in one season where it kind of went like that pretty much. I forget exactly what season it was that my brain is thinking of, but it'll come to me eventually. Actually, I literally just remembered it. Drag Race Canada season 2. The first 4 lip syncs all have different people in them. Fun facts. I don't know why the fuck I said it like that. It's very interesting. So yeah, Edna's gonna go home here. We're gonna move on to the Snatch Game episode. Now, here's where I feel like y'all are gonna leave me behind. I kept the placements the same in Snatch Game. I really liked Mademoiselle Boop's character. I really liked it. I don't think anybody else does, but I really, really do. It was so dumb. And she sold the character so perfectly to me. I think Drag Queen did an amazing job as well. But I genuinely, like, after, like, I hadn't seen the episode and I'd heard online, like, oh my god, Mademoiselle got so favored in this challenge, blah, 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 blah. And then I went and watched it, and I was, like, actively laughing at Mademoiselle and her performance in it. Whereas, like, Drag Queen, I think, probably did a slightly better impersonation. It wasn't as funny to me as Mademoiselle's. I really liked it. I'm sorry. That's just the way that I feel. Um, but yeah, I think I kept literally every placement the same in this challenge. The bottom two, Peach and Valenciaga, they're gonna lip sync to the song called The Feeling. by Gabri Ponte and Henry PFR. I do think Peach did a better job in this lip sync, so I think it only makes sense for Peach to stay and Valenciaga to go here. But again, I fucking love Valenciaga so much. She is my breakout star for this season, along with Drag Queen. Those are my two. Those are my two girlies where I'm like, yes, bitch. They are amazing drag queens to me. But yeah, let's move on. Episode 6 is the Makeover Challenge. I did change up a few placements of this episode. In fact, I think literally every placement is changed in this episode. Originally, Athena Sorgelikis won the episode, and I really liked her makeover, but hers was my second favorite, personally. I loved Drag Queen's makeover. Now, I will admit that I might have a slight bias towards clowns, because I love clowns, and I've mentioned that in many videos on this channel. I fucking love clowns, and so seeing clown makeup and clown drag, it makes me very excited. I love it. But I do think it is just a genuine preference of, like, they both were great outfits to me, like, similar levels of, like, actual, like, quality and, like, the looks and the family resemblance and everything, but I prefer drag queens, so drag queen is gonna win. Athena is gonna place high, and I don't think Peach should have been in the bottom two. I thought Peach's looks were very clean to me. I thought Susan's were less clean, made less sense. I thought Peach's were clean and solid. She should have been safe for me in this challenge. So instead of Peach and Mademoiselle Boop, we are going to be having Susan and Mademoiselle Boop in the bottom two. And the lip sync song is going to be Jimmy La Vie by Sandra Kim. Apologies for pronunciation. And I kind of think Susan would win this one. I don't know. I do think there's also, like, reason to believe that Mademoiselle could win, but my gut says Susan. They both are similar levels of lip sync. They both have similar levels of lip sync abilities to me, like looking at the lip syncs that they participated in throughout the season. So it's kind of a toss up to me, but I think it makes more sense to keep Susan, and I think she would have done better for me. So that's what I'm gonna say, and Mademoiselle Boop is going to leave. Alrighty, in episode 7, we have ourselves our like, kind of comedy challenge of the season, where they have to deliver speeches that are, both kind of comedic and also inspiring, kind of like the graduation speeches on All Star 7. To talk for just a second about the storylines of the season, I honestly don't feel like they really would have changed much. I do think I do think there could have been slightly more emphasis in this timeline on the two of the legends here that are, like, on the season, and in drag in Belgium, being Edna Sorgelson and Mademoiselle Boop not kind of doing as well as people would expect. I think there could be slightly more emphasis on that. I also think we could get a bit more of, like, a redemption from Peach in terms of, like, the season and everything. But besides that, I don't really think anything would have changed. I Yeah, I really don't think there's anything else that you could have changed with what I ended up choosing to do, because I feel like I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of a good amount of storylines this season. Some of them I liked, but, like, I just don't think I don't know what else you could have added. Besides those two things I mentioned, I really don't know what else could have changed about, like, the storylines regarding the season that would actually make sense. So I guess that's it. I guess it's a very disappointing version of that segment, but it kind of is for me, at least. Um, I think Susan did a better job in this challenge than Drag Queen. Genuinely, I really love Susan's performance in this. I was like, oh, Susan killed it. I wonder how Drag Queen is gonna do, because she won the challenge. And then I saw Drag Queen's performance, and I was like, I think I liked Susan slightly more. Drag Queen, I think, was slightly more inspiring with her words, but I really thought Susan kind of struck that balance, and I thought it was a better performance to me personally. I really liked it. I don't think Peach would have done an amazing job in this challenge. Peach had done good in the comedy challenges before this, so I don't think she'd do a bad job. But I think Drag Queen and Susan did such a good job that no matter how well Peach would have done, I still think it would have been worse. So Peach and Athena Sorgelikis are going to be the bottom two. They're going to lip sync to Love Banana Split by Leo. Does Peach have a banana on her? If she does, I think she'd probably win. If she doesn't, I don't think she does. But regardless, I think based off of track records and like the storylines going to the finale, it would only make sense to keep Athena because at this point, we know that Peach isn't winning because Peach hasn't won a challenge. Has only been in the top once. And I think the potential for who would do better lip sync is close enough that it just makes more sense to keep Athena. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to enter the finale with the exact same contestants as originally. In this finale, since it is the same contestants, nothing changes. The top two are going to be Athena and Drag Queen, and they're going to lip sync to Demons by Anjali and Demso. And Drag Queen is going to win for having the better track record and just doing better in the finale. Here are the track records for the season. As we can see, Drag Queen has a track record score above 4, which is very, very impressive, I gotta say. And literally everybody except the last, like the bottom two placing contestants, Amanda and Brittany, all have a high placement at some point during the season. Well, a high or a win, but they all have a placement in the top during the season, which is very fascinating to me. But yeah, I guess that is going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you wish. Leave your thoughts, feelings, opinions, etc. down below. Again, thank you so much, and as always, take care. Bye-bye.